fans, welcome back to Fishing with Capt and Sharky. Today we're on the water with Captain Larry Martin, and he's a professional crabber here in the St. John's area, northeast Florida, and we're lucky enough to have the opportunity to be on his boat today. And what are we going after, Captain?
We're going after the St. John's River blue crabs. This is the season for them. We're going to run a few traps right down here, give you an idea of what's really going on, explain how it works with the buoys, the licenses, and let you see the whole process.
Well, that'd be great. Our fans will surely enjoy that. Fans, make sure and stay tuned now. We're going to show you how the crabbers do it. Captain, I have a question for you. Is there a difference between the males and the females as far as being able to keep them?
Hold on one here. All right, your male, it's all got all the blue on here.
All right.
And he has a sharp under flap.
I see it comes to a point there, yes.
Pointed under flap.
That's the male.
That's the male crab.
All right.
Female crab.
All right.
Has a larger flap on the bottom. And you notice the end of her claws?
Orange.
Or orange.
I'll be darned. How about that, folks? Isn't that something? Now, as far as regulations, can you keep both?
You're allowed to keep both as long as the female is not an egg-bearing crab.
So on the bottom, in that flap, there'll be orange little eggs.
That's right.
And then when you see that, you got to dump them.
You can't keep it.
All right. And that goes for everybody, even you with your private traps. When you're pulling them up, if you got your personal trap, and you see them orange eggs on the bottom, please return those back to the water so everybody will have a chance to get some crab in the future. Those eggs got to be matured.
The law says from point to point, the crab has to be 5 inches.
From point to point, 5 inches, folks. All right. So once you catch them, then you got to grade them. Right.
Small.
That's a smallie.
He might make it, but he's not a good market crab.
Right. So you dump it. That's good show. That's very nice. Well, it's good to see that you're taking care of our ecosystem as well as making a little dollar here and there. Boy, that's a beautiful shot. Look at that, folks. Makes me hungry. Well, you've done quite well in just a few minutes, Captain.
These traps here are set for a couple days.
Oh, yeah?
And they do pretty good.
I see that.
It's not where you can run every day unless you have a lot of traps.
Right, I understand. And like you said, a commercial fisherman's allowed 600 traps.
Right. But
right.
Most of them don't fish near that.
Near that, yeah. That's a lot of work.
Commercial fishermen can have 600 crab traps. A recreational fisherman can have 5 crab traps.
So now the recreational fisherman, that's the average Joe.
Yeah.
He can have 5 traps, but he's still got to have a regular fishing license.
That's correct.
All right. Now he cannot sell that. He can only consume that or have them for his personal use. Is that right, Captain?
Right. I think it's up to a 5-gallon bucket.
Up to a 5-gallon bucket?
Somewhere in that neighborhood. Don't hold me to it.
Right. Well, fans,
check into it.
Yeah, the best thing to do is to check your regulation booklets to make sure. But you can have 5 traps as a civilian, as long as you got your fishing license. You guys can go out there and have 5 of your own traps, so you can start eating crab today, guys. You just got to make sure you can't sell them. You can only consume them or fish with them. That's the law. Do you see much disease or growths or tumors on these crabs, any of them?
Not at all.
Not at all. So these crabs are quite healthy.
Very.
Very healthy. Well, that's great to hear. You know, you guys do such a good job on sticking to the regulations, and I commend you, commercial fishermen, for helping us bring back the population. And you know, folks, don't touch these crab buoys when you're out in the water. Try to avoid them. It's a $5,000 fine and 5 years in prison. And these men make their living doing this. So you avoid those buoys. Do not touch them. Don't bring them out of the water. Marine Patrol, they can see a long ways with those telephoto lenses. And you don't want any problems. Besides, this is their income. Let's leave their buoys alone when you're out in the water. Like I said, you can have 5 of your own. Put your own color on there, write your name on it, whatever you'd like. Hey folks, welcome back. This is Captain Sharky and this is Captain Larry. He's going to show us something here now. Go ahead, Captain Larry.
This is what you call a buster crab.
Right.
This crab is going to back out of its shell and it'll be twice as big as it is. There's the top of the shell. And then it's the only time this crab will be able to be bred is when this crab backs out of there. Male crab will clutch her up, protect her while she's soft.
I mean, he'll literally get on top of her and hold her and protect her.
And protect her.
Okay.
And breed her.
Look how she's breathing there, soft.
Yeah, that's a soft-shelled crab.
I'll be darned. Look at that, folks. That's a soft-shelled crab right there. And this part is what he's telling you, it just came off.
And back out of its shell, and see how much bigger the crab is in the shell?
Oh, my Lord, look at that. Folks, this is an incredible thing to see right here. That's what they call a soft-shelled crab. And that male crab will get on her and protect her and guard her until she gets a shell strong enough to protect herself. Okay. And that's a special season that you can get those and eat those.
It happens all through the summer.
All through the summer.
All through the summer. Sometimes more and sometimes less.
I'd be darned. How about that, folks? Isn't that something? Look, we know that the average Joe can have 5 traps. Where would you recommend that they put a trap? Is there any certain areas, Captain, that are better than others?
Some areas are better than others. Try to go for a sandbar. You can't be in the channel.
Cannot be in the channel.
Be outside the channel markers.
Outside the channel markers are very important. And
a lot of mistakes that people make, recreational fishermen, is they don't put enough weight on the bottom and they come back, their trap's gone. It's not because somebody takes it, the current will drag it away.
I'll be darned.
Especially in the intercoastal waterway.
So that weight is very important.
Especially in the intercoastal waterway.
Okay.
Because you have stronger current.
Right. I understand. So like here in the St. John's, it's not quite as much current. But if you're over in the intercoastal waterway and you and your wife and kids want to put out 5 traps, make sure you got enough weight on it and a nice sandbar somewhere. But out of the channel is very important. You don't want to get a fine. And that weight will keep that current from pushing that thing down the river and you're losing it. This is a good thing. And to let everybody know that you can share in this and everybody can get crabs. But I'd stay out of the way of the commercial crabbers. I wouldn't put them near their traps. That's their business. Find yourself your own little area and set your traps out. Is there another bait that somebody can use? I've always heard that it's like a chicken leg or something.
Chicken is a good bait for crabs because it's the oil.
The oil.
In it.
So stuff that's got a little oil in it is better than others.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well,
herrings. Scraps from the fish market.
Scraps from the fish market. A daily day on the water fishing. Cut the heads off. Put them in your trap. Leave them over in the water. Come back a few days later. Check your traps. You're liable to go home with 100 crabs. Have some fun out there. And this you can do with a regular fishing license. Well, folks, I want to thank you for joining us today on the boat with Captain Larry Martin. Captain, I'd like to thank you very much. You've taught us a lot today, and it's really nice to see that you're taking care of the river the way you are. And folks, if you get a chance, make sure that you give it a try and get out there and get some crabs. Everybody can do it. You're allowed 5, like I said. Just got to have a saltwater license for fishing. But be careful. They are sharp. And do not, if you wouldn't mind, mess with these buoys that are on the water. That's these gentlemen's income. It's just like stealing if you pull them buoys up. And it's $5,000 fine and 5 years in jail. So, folks, let's respect their business and their job, and let's stay out of their way. This is Capt and Sharky. Till next week, tight lines.